Good morning, please be seated. Okay, read on the record.
Yes, sir.
Today's October 16th, 2025 in Carson City Justice Court. This is the time set for a preliminary hearing. Case number is 24 CR 01624-1C. My name is Derek Dreiling. I'm the Justice of the Peace handling this matter. I'm a Senior Justice of the Peace, retired out of Washoe County, and appointed by the Supreme Court in this capacity. I've been asked to conduct this hearing. We have the state, and the state is represented by who?
Good morning, Your Honor. Alyssa Engler and Matthew Rashford, and I believe Attorney General Ford may be on Zoom.
Matthew Rashbrook
Yes.
and Melissa.
Alyssa.
Alyssa?
Yep.
What's your last name?
Engler, E-N-G-L-E-R.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Mr. Ford watching, but we don't anticipate.
Correct.
Okay, input. Okay, that would complicate things. And then we have Michael McDonald, represented by Richard Wright.
Richard Wright, Mr. McDonald, my earphones aren't working.
Let's make sure they do.
This is the volume and whatnot. Not working, it should be connected. Let me grab you a different one so you want it.
Perfect.
Okay, you can hear me better?
Yes, sir.
All right, sometimes I talk soft, so let me know. Then we have James DeGraffenreid, represented by George Kelesis.
Good morning, Your Honor. George Kelesis, Mr. DeGraffenreid is right behind me. Okay.
And we have Jesse Law, represented by Margaret McLetchie.
Margaret McLetchie, good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Law is ill, but he is appearing by Zoom if that's acceptable for the court.
I have no problem with that. Does the state have any objection?
As long as we can see him at some point, Your Honor, I have no objection.
Okay. Do we have that ability, Mr. Law, if you could unmute and say something? Okay, and it's showing up on the screen that I have on the clerk's station. Council have any view of Mr. Law?
No, Your Honor. And the state's only objection was in reference to ID, so that ID, we made it, the state's going to stipulate to identification, then we can move forward.
We stipulate.
Okay.
And that solves that issue.
Okay, and under the sergeant case, he's not required to be present in person anyway. I'll accept that stipulation regarding identity. And we have Shawn Meehan, represented by Mr. Arnold.
Good morning, Your Honor. Harry Arnold on behalf of Shawn Meehan and Wright.
Good morning. Hindle, represented by Brian Hardy.
Brian Hardy, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Hindle, behind me as well.
Thank you. And Eileen Rice, represented by Monti Levy, or Levy.
Levy, yes. Good morning, Your Honor. Monti Levy, Eileen is here.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to each of you. I had the staff, when there was a request for a Zoom for members of the Attorney General's office to appear or view remotely, reach out and let council know any objection or issue with that from council.
No, sir.
And then, I guess, final procedural matters. Our Nevada judges filed a request to appear as media. I had asked staff to make sure that was passed on to all council in case there was any sort of objection. There's a presumption in the Supreme Court rules that is open and able to be recorded. Any issue from any council? I didn't hear anything pre-trial.
No, sir.
Okay. Seeing none, that will continue. There's also a different media establishment, Nevada Independent or something like that. Their presence, I believe, just taking notes. There's no prohibition whatsoever on that. I was informed it was with a laptop. If that interferes, we might have to go old school with pen and paper. Other than that, I'm prepared to proceed. Are there any preliminary matters to address from the state?
Your Honor, the state has marked proposed exhibits 1 through 17. I believe the defense is stipulating to those exhibits. However, I looked through 11 and 12. Those were for ID purposes that are not needed. So if they're stipulated to, then I will move for the admission of exhibits 1 through 10 and 13 through 17.
You don't need to stipulate the admission of those exhibits.
And hearing no objection from anybody, I will admit 1 through 10 and 13 through 17 in this case as the exhibits. The parties are free to work with them, publish them with the witnesses. If the parties need to approach witnesses or the bench, no permission is needed. I want to make this flow as smooth and easily as possible. Anything else, Ms. Engler?
No, Your Honor, we did provide Your Honor with a copy of those stipulated exhibits. It should be one for you, so that there's ease for you to review.
Okay. That's the packet up here, copy for judge. It's got the case number, Michael McDonald et al., and there's 1 through 17. Of course, 11 and 12 not being admitted.
Correct.
Thank you. Anything else, Ms.
Nothing, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I don't think it's an issue, I don't think there's any other witnesses here, but for the record, we would invoke the exclusionary rule.
Oh, thank you. Do you have any witnesses?
The only witness I have is the first witness that will be calling. No other witnesses are in the courtroom.
Who's the first witness?
Your Honor, the state's first witness will be investigator Todd Grosz.
Todd what?
Grosz, Grosz.
Have you explained, or has your officer investigators explained the rule of exclusion to the other witnesses?
I have. They are not here, but yes, I have.
Okay. Mr. Grosz, and then it's the state's responsibility to make sure the rule of exclusion has been invoked. That means that you cannot talk to the other witnesses about the substance of your testimony, exhibits, things that happen in court. The purpose of that is so that one witness's testimony is not tainted by another witness's testimony. By that I mean, they remember something they would have otherwise not remembered, even however slight. Those aha moments, that's a thing for the courtroom, because I'm judging credibility of what's going on. So you and the other witnesses are not allowed to, again, talk with one another about the substance of what happened in the courtroom, or allow others to describe what happened in the courtroom to you until you and the other witnesses are released from that admonition. Mr. Grosz, any questions about that?
No, sir, they have.
Okay, thank you. Any further admissions or admonitions or further explanation of that particular rule by defense that the defense wants?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Engler?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state will call investigator Todd Grosz.
Mr. Grosz, come on up and take the stand. We'll swear you in there.
Of course.
Just remain standing and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury in the state of Nevada that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated. When you're comfortable, state your name and spell your last name.
Todd Grosz, Grosz.
Ms. Engler.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Grosz. How are you currently employed?
Criminal investigator for the state of Nevada, Office of the Attorney General.
And how long have you been employed for the Office of the Nevada Attorney General?
Over 24 years now,
What unit are you currently assigned to?
with the General Fraud Investigations Unit.
Can you let the court know what some of your job-related tasks are?
I would be responsible for all aspects of conducting an investigation, which would include, but would not be limited to, preparing subpoenas, serving those subpoenas, preparing search warrants, executing those search warrants, locating witnesses, evidence, conducting interviews of witnesses, victims, possibly interviewing and interrogating subjects, making identifications of those individuals, to name a few.
In your role as an investigator in the fraud unit for the Office of the Attorney General, were you assigned to an investigation regarding the submission of alternate electors' certificates for the 2020 presidential election?
Yes, I was.
When did your involvement begin?
I believe it was in January or February 22.
And what were your job-related tasks in that specific investigation?
At that time, it would have been pretty much what I've already laid forward. We were identifying evidence, witnesses, defendants, gathering documents and evidence relating to the case.
Were you the only investigator that worked on this case?
No, I was not.
Can you just elaborate who else assisted you on this investigation?
At that time, investigator Danny Rhoda was also assigned. She handled duties up in the north. I handled duties down in the south.
Ms. Engler?
Yes.
Before we get to anything of true substance, not that this isn't substantive, I just want to triple check that Mr. Law also can hear the witness.
Sure.
He's nodding in the affirmative. Please continue.
Did you cause a subpoena to issue to Wright Broadcasting?
I drafted that subpoena, yes.
Okay. And why did you issue that subpoena?
We had learned of a video that had been on social media, which was depicting, we'll call it a document signing ceremony that was performed by the defendants.
Okay. And did you receive a response for your subpoena?
Yes, we did.
Okay. I'm showing you what's been marked as stipulated Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And how are you familiar with this document?
This was a certificate of custodian of records prepared by Richard Seals of Wright Broadcasting and was provided to investigator Danny Rhoda.
And with this custodian of records affidavit, what accompanied the submission of that?
There were 2 videos that we obtained along with the certificate.
And can you briefly describe the 2 videos that came with the certificate?
The first video, I'll refer to as the short video, was approximately 38 minutes, 48 seconds. It depicted the document signing ceremony, as I previously mentioned. The second video was a longer video, an hour, 24 minutes approximately. It contained raw footage, it contained the document signing ceremony, then there appeared to be more raw footage, and then a second ceremony.
And I'm showing you it's been marked as Exhibit 2, which has been stipulated to. Do you recognize this flash drive?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize it?
I downloaded the short video onto this thumb drive.
And did you initial and date the video after you watched it?
Yes, I did.
And that's your signature there?
It's my initials.
Very good. Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would now like to play this video.
Go ahead, unless there's comment from the defense.
Yeah, we're going to request that the entire video that was received be played, not the edited video. Not it be the complete second video, which has additional information on it, not on that video.
Response?
Your Honor, it's the state's case. The state is going to play the short edited version. If the defense would like to offer the full version during their case, they can certainly do so.
How long is this short video relative to the long?
The short video is approximately 38 minutes. I was not intending to play the whole video because there's parts of the video that is setting up, and so I was trying to streamline it. Certainly, if they would like to play other parts of the video, I have no objection to that.
Mr. McDonald?
Right. Mr. Wright.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright.
That's
Jesus.
okay. That's fine. Under the doctrine of completion, I mean, I think the entire video should be shown, which captures the entire scene on December 14th.
Okay, and with that doctrine of completion, I believe you're entitled to do that in your case. We've got 38 minutes on Exhibit 2, of which only portions are going to be, if we need to play either other relevant portions in your case or the full thing, we'll do that at that time. Go ahead. For those in the audience, the purpose of that is for full context. If it's important, it's fair game.
Understood, yeah.
And for court technology staff, I believe this was set up so that it could also be viewed through the Zoom platform. So for example, Mr. Law could watch it. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Mr. Law, it appears that Exhibit 2 was played in very brief when it was inserted and queued up. Were you able to catch that? Okay. You answered in the affirmative?
Yes. Mr. Investigator Grosz, do you recognize what's depicted on the screen?
And it's the start of the short video.
Okay. And I'm going to move to approximately 5 minutes and 50 seconds into this video. Actually, 5:52 for clearness of the record.
And are you using the media timeline?
Yes.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Shawn Meehan, veteran Shawn Meehan. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in paying respect to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
All right, I'll call the roll if you like.
Present. Eileen Rice. Present. Alternate electors, Joseph Krasinski. James Marshall. And I believe no other alternates are present. Is anyone present as an elector or an alternate whose name I did not call? Hearing none. Then, next order of business will be the election of the electoral college chairman. Yes, sir. Just allow the oath, please. You guys please rise and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. Do each of you solemnly swear to affirm that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Nevada, and that you will discharge the duties of your office with fidelity? If so, please say, I do. I do. I do. Thank you, Mr. Long. The next election of delegation chairman. Any nominations? I move Michael McDonald be named as delegation chairman. I second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Election delegation secretary. I nominate Jim DeGraffenreid. I second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is filling vacancies. Mr. Chairman, as secretary, I can report that 6 electors are present and we have no vacancies at this time to fill. Thank you very much. Ballot for the President of the United States. Electors, you will find in your packet 6 ballots. Nevada presidential elector, official ballot for President of the United States. You should write in your choice for President of the United States, and then you should sign your name where indicated on the ballot. Do that 6 times, and then we will turn those in to the secretary. If you were voting for Mr. Trump, then it's Donald J. Trump. the winner of the electoral votes for the state of Nevada. We will now do the certification of the votes of the electors from Nevada for president. Certificate reads that we, the undersigned, being the duly elected and qualified electors for president and vice president of the United States of America from the state of Nevada, do hereby certify the following. We convened and organized at the state capitol in Carson City, Nevada, on the 14th day of December 2020 to perform the duties enjoined upon us, that being so assembled and duly organized, we proceeded to vote by ballot. Ballot first for president and then for vice president. Name of the person voted for is Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida. He received 6 votes, and we will sign this certificate that will go to the Senate and will also be the archivist of the United States. McDonald. Here. James DeGraffenreid is present. Gilbert James Hindle III. Here. Jesse Law. Present. Shawn Meehan. Present. Eileen Rice. Here. Let the record show that all electors are present for the balloting of Vice President of the United States. I believe we do have alternates still. Do we have Joe Brzezinski still? And James Marchand. Excellent. So now back to you, Mr. Chairman, for balloting for Vice President. Electors, as before, you have 6 ballots. And we were voting for, if you were going to vote for Mr. Pence, it should be Michael R. Pence. And then sign your name on the 6 ballots, turn your name to the secretary. McDonald, Hill. Meehan, and Meehan. And Mr. Law, thank you. All right, second call. There were 6 votes received from Michael R. Pence in the state of Indiana. So as we did for the president, we will now certify a vote for Michael R. Pence in the state of Indiana, having received 6 votes. Chairman? Remember that time. Congratulations. Excellent. Sorry. Listen. All right. So 6 votes for Donald J. Trump and 6 votes for Michael R. Pence having been certified by the electors of Nevada. We will send these ballots and the certification of same as directed to the President of the Senate by registered mail, to the Archivist of the United States by registered mail. Copies will also be sent to the Secretary of the State of Nevada, the Chief Judge of the U.S. District Court in Nevada. Any questions from any of the electors? Back to you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Before we adjourn, I would like to tell a favor. Just about to take the national anthem before we Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, our bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? No further business. I'd like to adjourn this meeting. Thank all of you for doing this. Thank you. We have a lot further to go. Make sure we don't have the ballot ballots and voting rights stolen, as they were, Chris mentioned. We have a lot further way to go. We're in for the long haul. I think you know for a fact, our president and vice president feel the same way. This cannot take place in America. It's disgusting what went on. We're almost like a third world country right now. No one will cover what's happening. We have dead people that voted in this election. We have people that voted 3 or 4 times. Unauthorized signatures. We have a reporter himself from the Review Journal that casted 8 ballots. 8 to prove this point. We have a failed system. And this legislature not only let it happen, they made it happen. We can make sure that never happens again. We need to call everybody to light. We need to pull the corruption out of the darkness into the light. And moving forward, once our attorneys allow us, we intend to post on our website continually the corruption we have found. This is something we're not going to bury. Regardless of where we move from this day forward, we can never let this happen again in Nevada. This is about not Republicans, this is not about Democrats, this is about independents. This is about Nevadans. I was born and raised here. I love this state. I would die for this state. It's disgusting what's taking place. It's going to take all of us in a long, long haul to make sure this never happens again. With that, I call this meeting to adjourn. Thank you.
Well, you just saw it here. The GOP in Nevada has certified their ballots for Donald J. Trump for president and Michael Pence for vice president of the United States. They have cast their ballots and they declared Donald Trump the winner of Nevada. And it's 6 electoral votes here in the state. Certainly history happening here. And and this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And as we heard earlier, this made a difference early on during the Kennedy election, and we certainly believe it will make a difference right here, right now. I'm going to go ahead and move around a little bit so that you can see just kind of what's happening. Everybody's shaking hands, congratulating each other. Certainly a big moment in history here as people come together, uphold their constitutional duty to make sure that every legal vote is counted and every illegal vote is thrown away.
Yeah, what you're seeing here is historic, and of course we've talked about this, the possibility for months. We knew it would come down here. We were here in this city just months ago for a rally. We saw the huge support this president has in this state, and we've been in Bullhead City, Arizona, right across the border from here. We've also seen a lot of support from this president. So at this point, here it is. This is where we're at. It's 2020, so we kind of felt like we might be here at this point in junction. But once again, we're in front of the Nevada State Legislature, as you just witnessed, the electoral votes being officially cast for Donald J. Trump. Let's see if we can go around, Phillips.
Your Honor, I'm pausing the video at 28:22.
Thank you.
Mr. Blue had the opportunity to watch that video 3 times.
Yes, I have.
And where did that ceremony take place?
It took place in front of the Nevada State Legislative Building.
Is that here in Carson City, Nevada?
Yes, it is.
And you observed on the video that there were 6 people who casted votes?
Yes.
And through the course of your investigation, were you able to formally identify those individuals?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And how did you go about identifying them through your investigation?
Well, the documents that we had obtained, the copies of the documents which they had signed, gave us their 6 names. The video gives us their image, and we can match them to their name as they're identified in the course of the video itself. I also obtained copies of Nevada driver's license records so I could match the photo and an example of their signature from their DMV records to the signatures on the ballots and the images that are depicted in the video.
What were the names that were listed on the certificate that was executed?
Michael McDonald, James DeGraffenreid, Shawn Meehan, Jesse Law, Durwood Hindle III, and Eileen Rice.
Do you see Michael McDonald in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Would you point to him and identify an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Mr. McDonald is sitting here to my right, dark suit with the red tie. I'm going to say a black suit because there's other dark suits, but a black suit.
Your Honor, will the record reflect the identification of Mr. McDonald?
It shall.
Thank you. Do you see James DeGraffenreid in the courtroom?
Yes, I do.
And can you please point to him and identify an article of clothing he's wearing?
Mr. DeGraffenreid is sitting at the end of the line in a gray suit with a red and white striped tie.
Your Honor, will the record reflect the identification of Mr. DeGraffenreid?
It shall.
Your, Investigator Grosz, do you see Shawn Meehan in the courtroom?
Yes, I have. Yes, I
Can
do.
you please point to him and identify an article of clothing that he is wearing?
Mr. Meehan is in the line here, the second from the right side, with a very light, almost yellow tie.
Your Honor, will the record reflect the identification of Mr. Meehan?
It shall.
Thank you. Investigator Grosz, do you see Mr. Hindle in the courtroom?
Yes, I do.
Can you please point to him and identify an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Okay, Mr. Hindle is sitting in the middle of the group of defendants in a charcoal gray suit with a red tie.
Your Honor, will the record reflect the identification of Mr. Hindle?
It shall.
Thank you. And do you see Ms. Rice in the courtroom?
Yes, I do.
And can you please point to her and identify an article of clothing that she's wearing?
Okay, Mrs. Rice is sitting here at the end of the line in a burgundy colored suit.
Your Honor, will the record reflect the identification of Ms. Rice?
It shall.
And Your Honor, counsel for Mr. Law has stipulated to us his identification for this proceeding. So I'd ask that the identification for Mr. Law be reflected into the record.
Based upon prior stipulation accepted at the beginning of the hearing, it shall.
Thank you. Investigator Grosz, through your investigation, were you able to determine if the documents that were executed on the video were subsequently mailed and received by the agencies that they indicated they were sending them to?
Yes, they were.
And how did you go about determining that?
We had obtained copies of the documents from the U.S. District Court for the District of Nevada, and we obtained a set of the copies of the documents from the National Archives.
And when you received those documents, did you review them?
Yes, I did.
And you indicated you also received postal records?
We received postal records that included certified mail shipping numbers, or tracking numbers, and registered mail tracking numbers.
Showing you what's been marked as stipulated States Exhibit 10, do you look through that and let me know if you recognize that?
Yes, I recognize this.
Okay, and what is it?
It is copies of the records that we had obtained from the U.S. Postal Service.
And what specifically is contained in those records?
There's a certificate of custodian of records signed by Warren Heister. There is a copy of 4 tracking numbers, 2 for registered mail and 2 for certified mail. And then there's a spreadsheet that is the tracking information that corresponds with the tracking numbers.
Were you able to match the tracking numbers that were in the U.S. Postal Service records to any other documents that you obtained through your investigation?
There were 4 sets. One went to the U.S. Senate, one went to the District Court, like I mentioned, to the National Archives, and one to the Nevada Secretary of State's office.
And those documents that were sent to those agencies and these tracking numbers, were you able to locate those in any other records that you obtained through your investigation?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sure. The tracking numbers that are listed in Exhibit 10, which are the postal records, did you locate these tracking numbers in any other documents that you obtained through your investigation?
I understand, thank you. Yes, we did obtain copies of the tracking numbers through emails that were obtained from Google.
Okay, and how did you get those emails from Google?
We executed a search warrant for emails from 4 different email accounts from Google.
And do you recall what the email addresses were that were the subject of that search warrant to Google?
McDonald @gmail.com, 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 and @gmail.com.
And what were you hoping to obtain from the emails from these 4 addresses?
We wanted to obtain communications that establish the production of these documents as well as the execution and signing of these documents.
Did you receive a response from your search warrant?
Yes, we did.
Showing you what's been marked as stipulated States Exhibit 5. Do you recognize this document?
Oh, yes, I do.
And it's lengthy, but what is it?
Now, this is the certificate of authenticity that was sent to us from Google as part of the production from the search warrant that we executed.
What came in addition to the custodian of records affidavit, what other items came with the search warrant return?
There was subscriber information for the 4 accounts along with the email communications that we had requested.
And when you were reviewing the return, were you able to ascertain who the owners of the email addresses were that were the subject of the search warrant?
Yes, I did.
And can you elaborate on how you made that determination?
The subscriber information provides names, in some cases phone numbers, some cases date of births. I matched that information with the DMV records.
Showing you what's been marked as stipulated States Exhibit 9. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
This is the subscriber information for the 4 email accounts that were provided by Google in their production.
And so this subscriber information came with the Google emails and the custodian of records affidavit.
Yes, it did.
When reviewing this, who was the owner of gmail.com?
Jesse Law.
And how were you able to make, and for clarification, are you referring to the defendant, Jesse Law?
Yes, I am.
How were you able to make that determination?
His date of birth was included in the subscriber information, which matched the date of birth in his DMV records.
Did it also have his phone number?
There was a phone number as well, which we were able to identify that connected, or I would say that we traced to Mr. Law.
Who was the owner at gmail.com?
Michael McDonald.
And how were you able to make that determination?
The subscriber information again had a phone number and a date of birth matched to the DMV information.
Who was the owner for gmail.com?
Shawn Meehan.
And that's defendant Shawn Meehan?
That is correct.
And how did you make that determination?
Again, the date of birth was provided, which matched the date of birth provided within the Nevada DMV records.
I forgot to ask, when we refer to Michael McDonald, are you referring to the defendant, Michael McDonald?
Yes, I am.
And lastly, who was the owner of at gmail.com?
Defendant Hindle.
And how were you able to make that determination?
There was a date of birth, but it did not match with the driver's license information. And as I was reviewing the emails that were associated with that email account, I found a receipt or a confirmation of a retail product. I believe it was pet supplies from Chewy.com that was to be delivered to his residential address, which was in his driver's license information.
Now, there were 2 defendants' emails that were not included in the Google production. Is that fair?
That is correct.
Although they were not included, were you able to form a belief as to the ownership of the email addresses for those 2 individuals?
Yes, I did.
How did you form your belief?
The first email would have been .org, which I was able to identify as defendant DeGraffenreid, and then the last email was at charter.net, which I was able to connect to defendant Rice.
And with respect to the gym at nevadagop.org, how were you able to connect that to defendant DeGraffenreid?
There was a document that was included in the Google production, which was an email from Jessica Hansen. At the time, I believe she was the executive director of the Nevada Republican Party, and she had created a list of contact information for each of the county parties. There was a reference to Jim DeGraffenreid, to that email, to a phone number that I was able to trace to Mr. DeGraffenreid.
Showing you what's been admitted as stipulated states exhibit 8, do you recognize this?
And this is the list that I just described, yes.
And this was contained in an email,
Yes, it was.
and so this was the email you just described reviewing.
That is correct.
And you mentioned, lastly, there was an email for defendant Rice.
That is correct.
And how were you able to reach the conclusion on the ownership of that charter.net?
On emails, the subscriber name will be listed with the email address. In this case, it said either Wes Rice or Wesley Rice. And I was able to identify that as defendant Rice's spouse. He was also present at the document signing event. I believe he gave the invocation.
Showing you stipulated states exhibit 6. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And how is it that you recognize it?
This is an email chain that was part of the Google production.
Okay. And who sent that email?
Defendant DeGraffenreid sent this to defendant Hindle.
Okay.
What's that exhibit number?
6.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Was there anyone CC'd on email?
There are several names listed, yes.
Would you identify those names, please?
Defendant Meehan, defendant McDonald, Jessica Hansen, Wesley Rice, defendant Law, and Jeremy Hughes.
And what is the is there a subject line on the email?
Yes, there is.
And what is that?
Corrected elector forms for tomorrow.
And when were these emails sent?
The last one was sent on December 13, 2020 at 9:44 p.m.
And do you recall from the video when the ceremony, or do you recall when the ceremony took place in Carson City that we watched?
The ceremony took place the following day on December 14, 2020. I don't believe a time was given in the video itself.
Are there attachments that were contained in this particular email?
Yes, there are.
If you would, can you turn to, at the bottom, there's a marking. Can you turn to what's been marked as GJ199?
Okay.
And if you would, can you please read the titles of the attachments?
Cover memo for electoral votes. NV certificate of the vote for president, December 14, 2020. Individual presidential ballots, electors. NV certificate of the vote for vice president, December 14, 2020. Individual vice presidential ballots for electors, and vacancy certificate, December 14, 2020.
Now, on this same page, if you would, can you please read the content under the December 13th, 2020 at 4:22 a.m.?
The text of the email is attached are the corrected electoral ballots and forms for tomorrow. Primarily, I changed Arizona to Nevada everywhere it appeared and corrected chairman of the college to Michael J. Please advise of any other needed changes.
And who is the sender of this email?
Defendant DeGraffenreid.
And if you would, can you please turn to GJ 201?
Okay.
And what is this document?
It appears to be a ballot for the Nevada presidential elector, official ballot for President of the United States. It is not signed.
And is it fair to say that there is, well, who is supposed to sign on this page?
Defendant DeGraffenreid.
And are there 6 identical certificates with different names listed within this? At least 6, I should say.
Yes, there are.
Now, if you would, please turn to GJ 219.
Okay.
And what is this document?
It's entitled The Certificate of the Votes of the 2020 Electors from Nevada.
And if you would, can you please read this page? Or at least the first paragraph.
We, the undersigned, being the duly elected and qualified electors for President and Vice President of the United States of America from the state of Nevada, do hereby certify the following.
Can you go ahead and please read subsection A?
Subsection A, that we convened and organized at the state capitol in Carson City, Nevada at 12 noon on the 14th day of December 2020 to perform the duties enjoined upon us.
Subsection, or sub B?
B, that being so assembled and duly organized, we proceeded to vote by ballot and balloted first for president and then for vice president by distinct ballots and
Please read subsection C.
C, that the following are 2 distinct lists, one of all the votes for president and the other of all the votes for vice president, so cast as aforesaid.
So it's fair to say these documents appear to be drafts of these certificates,
Yes, they appear to be drafts.
and they were sent amongst the defendants the day prior to the ceremony.
That is correct.
Showing you now what's been marked as state's stipulated exhibit 7. Do you recognize this document?
This is another email that was from the Google production.
Okay. And when was this email sent?
This was sent December 14, 2020 at 8:16 p.m.
And who sent this email?
It was from defendant DeGraffenreid.
And who was it mailed or emailed to? Who was the recipient?
The recipient is identified private at bernardcarey.com.
And was there anyone CC'd on the email?
One individual, defendant McDonald.
And if you would, can you please read the content of that first email?
Chairman McDonald asked me to forward a copy of this email to you. Thank you.
And signed an electronic signature by whom?
It was a signature block, yes.
And who is that?
Defendant DeGraffenreid.
Now, is this email, it appears to have been an email that was forwarded from an original email?
Yes, that is correct.
And when was the forward email, when was the original sent?
That was sent December 14, 2020 at 8:12 p.m.
And who was that sent by?
It was sent by defendant DeGraffenreid.
And what was the subject of that email?
Elector meeting documentation.
And who was that 812 email sent to?
It was sent to Kenneth Chesbro and defendant McDonald.
Was there anyone CC'd on that email?
There were several names, yes.
Please identify those names.
Jeremy Hughes, Jessica Hansen, Jolette Goins, defendant Meehan, Wesley Rice, and then defendant Hindle, and defendant Law.
And please read the content of that email.
Attached is a copy of the elector meeting documentation for Nevada, along with the tracking info for the mailing sent. Also attached is the instructions we were given for the mailing, which we followed exactly. Please advise if you have any questions. Thank you.
And who was that sent by?
Defendant DeGraffenreid.
If you would, can you turn to the marking GJ2227? And identify what we're looking at here.
227?
Yes.
Okay. It appears to be a copy of 4 envelopes that were prepared for mailing, one to the Secretary of State for the state of Nevada, one for the U.S. District Court, the District of Nevada, one for the President of the Senate, and one for the Archivist of the United States. All 4 have return or mailing addresses from defendant McDonald, Nevada Republican Party.
And were there attachments that were contained in this email?
Yes, there are.
If you would turn to GJ228,
Okay.
and can you please read the titles of the attachments?
Elector Process Instructions, December 2020. USPS Receipt, Nevada, December 14, 2020. Cover Memo for Electoral Votes, December 14, 2020. Tracking Forms, Elector Mailings, December 14, 2020. Vice Presidential Elector Certificate and Ballots, December 14, 2020. Presidential Elector Certificate and Ballots, December 14, 2020. And Addressed Outer Envelopes, December 14, 2020.
And the remaining documents in this particular email are the attachments that you just listed.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, if you could please turn to 243 of Exhibit 7.
Okay.
And what are we looking at here?
This is a copy of 4 tracking numbers, 2 for registered mailings and 2 for certified mailings.
And are those the same tracking numbers that were contained in the U.S. Postal Service records that you reviewed previously?
Yes, they are.
If you would, can you please identify the tracking number for the President of the Senate?
Registered mail number RB 3627-62703 US.
And you indicated that was sent by registered mail?
Yes, it is.
And is this the email, Exhibit 7, the email you had referenced earlier about comparing for the Postal Service records with the Google email?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to hand you back State's stipulated Exhibit 10. And in reviewing those records, can you identify when the document or the mailing was sent to the President of the Senate?
It was accepted or picked up on December 14, 2020 at 4:13 in the afternoon.
And when was it received?
It was delivered December 21st, 2020, 11:39 a.m.
And if you would, while you have that up there, if you could turn where was that document received?
It was received in Washington, D.C.
Is there a postal code? Or a zip code?
Zip code 20510.
And still on Exhibit 10, if you can go back to the page with all of the certified, or the receipts. If you would, can you please identify how the mail was sent to the National Archives?
That was also sent by registered mail.
And what was the tracking number for the document sent to the National Archives?
RB 36276264 US.
And are you able to identify in those records when the documents were mailed to the National Archives?
It was accepted December 14, 2020 at 4:13 p.m.
And when were the documents received?
They were received December 22nd, 2020, 6:20 a.m.
And where were the documents received?
in Washington, D.C.
And is there a zip code associated with delivery?
20408.
Take that back for a minute. Now, you mentioned that the documents were received by the National Archives.
Yes, they were.
Were you able to receive confirmation through another document in your investigation that indicated documents were received by the National Archives?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, it's probably poorly worded, I apologize. Through your investigation, were you able to determine that the records that were mailed to the National Archives were received other than through the mailing records?
Contact was made with the National Archives. They provided copies.
And did they provided copies to the Attorney General's office?
Yes, they did.
Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 3. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
The first page is the Certificate of Custodian of Records executed by Miriam Vincent, Office of the Federal Register.
And what is contained within the remaining pages of that document?
There's the certificate of the votes of the 2020 electors from Nevada, signed by the 6 defendants.
And I'm going to pause you right there. Do you recognize that document as being contained anywhere else within the documents we've already discussed?
These were the ones that were provided by, excuse me, by the, trying to complete blank here. We obtained copies from the archivist and from the not the Secretary of State.
That's okay. I'm going to withdraw that question in a minute. The defense is asking for a break. I find that.
Absolutely. We've been going for about an hour and a half. Let's take 10 minutes. And then, counsel, I did not address this earlier. If something comes up and you need to communicate with one of your clients because they're seated adjacent to you or behind you, let me know. We can pause the proceedings for that. Same for Mr. Law, who's appearing remotely. If you need a break for a phone call at any point, let me know. And just want to verify we still have Mr. Law. We can wake up the screen on the device there.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, he's responded. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll see you back at 20 till. And Ms. McLetchie, I want to make sure, because your client's remote, you have adequate opportunity to communicate if need be.
Thank you, yes, Your Honor.
about 10:42, we're back on the record. Mr. Grosz is still on stand.
All right, Investigator Grosz, I'm gonna rephrase my question from
Okay. just
prior to the break. And we were looking at State's Exhibit 3, the records from the National Archives. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And just to get back on kind of where we were at before, what was contained in these records?
The certificate of custodian of records from Marion Vincent, along with the certificate of the votes for the 2020 electors from Nevada for the office of president, signed by the 6 defendants. There were the 6 ballots. There's the certificate of votes of the 2020 electors from Nevada for the position of vice president, which is signed by the 6 defendants, along with those 6 ballots as well.
And I'm handing you back State's Exhibit 7. Do you see contained within Exhibit 7 the same documents that you just identified in Exhibit 3, the National Archives records?
Yes, they are part of the attachments.
So the documents contained in the archive records are also contained in that email that was sent by Defendant DeGraffenreid following the ceremony.
That is correct.
Were you also able to confirm through your investigation whether the documents that were purportedly sent to the U.S. District Court were subsequently received by the U.S. District Court?
Yes, they were.
Okay. I'm going to hand you back State's Exhibit 10. And again, that is the Postal Service records. And if you would, can you identify how the document was mailed to the U.S. District Court?
There's a certified mail receipt that is addressed to the U.S. District Court. Brandon Dew is the chief judge, and the address for the federal courthouse in Las Vegas.
And what's the tracking number associated with that mailing?
7019-2970-0000-6525-8645.
And when was it mailed?
It was accepted on December 14, 2020 at 4:05 p.m.
And when was it received?
It was delivered on December 16th at 11:45 a.m.
Councilwoman, you're up there. I see the red stamp on the mailing on the 14th. Where in Exhibit 10 is reference to the receipt?
That would be on the 3rd page. Maybe the 4th page of that exhibit.
Oh, within the tracking information, the electronic tracking information behind the actual certificates. Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor. And Mr. Grosz, where was that document delivered?
It was delivered to 333 Las Vegas Boulevard South, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay. And on the mailing records, can you confirm it was delivered in Las Vegas?
Yes, it was.
And what's the zip code?
89101.
Now, were you also able to confirm that the district court received those records through another mechanism?
I'm not sure if I understand your question.
That's okay. Through the course of your investigation, did you obtain any documents from the U.S. District Court?
Yes, we did.
How did you go about obtaining those
I
records?
went to the clerk's office at the courthouse in Las Vegas, inquiring about these documents. I was instructed there that they were forwarded to the courthouse up here in Reno.
And so what happened after that?
We requested a set of those copies from Deborah Kempe, the clerk of courts at the Reno courthouse.
And did you receive those documents in response to your request?
Yes, we did.
Shown you states Exhibit 4, which has been stipulated to. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
The first page is a certificate of custodian of records signed by Leah Griffin. Second page is a copy of an envelope addressed to Chief Judge, U.S. District Court, District of Nevada, along with a partial copy of a certified mail tracking number. There is a date stamp to show receipt by the clerk's office for the U.S. District Court, and then the set of documents themselves.
And the documents that are contained on pages state four, 2, 1, 3.
Yes,
Were those documents, were you able to compare those to any other documents that you found through discovery or through your investigation?
the documents that were received by the U.S. District Court matched documents that were provided by the National Archives.
I'd like to interrupt, I'm sorry.
Sure.
4213 in Exhibit 4, do you know that before you, Mr. Grosz?
I have that in front of me, yes.
And at the right hand bottom, it does say state 004 213.
Yes, it's cut off, but it's there.
Okay, that's what I wanted to check. My packet, I think it's an artifact of photocopying. I can't read that online. I just want to make sure we're looking at the same document. It's a certificate of the votes from the 2020 electors from Nevada related to votes for Trump, 6 at the bottom. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I noticed the same thing within this, what would have been 410. I don't see any other issues. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And on the next page, which would be state 4212, does this contain all the signatures of the defendants?
$4212, no, it does not.
Sorry, 4214, I apologize.
That page contains the signatures of the 6 defendants, yes.
And then 4215 would be the executed ballot for Mr. McDonald.
That is correct.
And 4216 would be the executed ballot for defendant DeGraffenreid.
That is correct also.
4217 is the executed ballot for defendant Hindle.
Yes,
4218 is the executed ballot for defendant Law.
the number's cut off at the bottom, but it goes in the proper order.
Okay.
So I'm gonna guess it's 4218.
Okay. And that's the page directly following defendant Hindle's signature?
That is correct.
Okay. And the page following defendant Meehan, if it's marked as 421, following defendant Law, is that the signature and ballot for defendant Meehan?
That is correct, yes.
And the page following defendant Meehan's is the executed ballot for defendant Rice?
Yes,
And I have that as 4220.
correct.
Now, if you would, within those documents, if you could forward to, if you're able to see it, it would be 4230.
Okay?
And what is this document?
It's correspondence to Chief U.S. District Judge Miranda Dew from Deputy Secretary for Elections Mark Veloci.
And the next page of 4231. And what do we have here?
It is the certificate of vote and appears to be signed by 6 individuals, not the defendants.
Okay. And there's 2 pages, it looks like, that have cleared signatures.
That is correct,
Okay.
yes.
All right. And they appear to be the certificate of vote with names other than the defendants.
Yes, that is correct. There's notes on there. One is original with incorrect time, and the other is copy with correct time.
And these documents came from the district court along with the documents that came from the defendants.
That is correct.
I'm going to hand you back State's Exhibit 10. In reviewing that document, are you able to identify how the documents were mailed to the Nevada Secretary of State?
They were sent by certified mail.
And what was the tracking number associated with that?
7019-2970-0000-6525-8638.
And when was the document sent to the Nevada Secretary of State?
The tracking information shows that they were picked up on December 14, 2020 at 4:05 p.m.
And when were the documents received by the Nevada Secretary of State?
It's first marked as delivered December 15th at 9:19 a.m.
And is there another entry on the postal records related to that tracking number?
Immediately following that, it says that the package was refused.
And then was it subsequently delivered again to a different location?
It was delivered then to an address in Las Vegas.
And when did that occur?
December 23rd, 2020 at 12:43 p.m.
All right, Investigator Grosz, we're nearing the end here. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as stipulated State's Exhibit 13. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
It's an order of affirmance from the Supreme Court for the state of Nevada.
Is this a certified document? You look at the last page of the exhibit.
Yes, this is a certified copy.
And what court was this document filed in?
As I just said, the Supreme Court of the state of Nevada.
And what was the date of the order?
It's filed December 8th, 2020.
Who are the appellants?
The 6 defendants.
Who are the respondents?
It would be the 6 nominee electors for the Nevada Democrat Party.
And what were their names?
Which group?
Sorry, the respondents.
Respondents: Judith Whitmer, Sarah Mahler, Joseph Thornberry, Artesia Blanco, Gabriel Dyer, and Ivana Kinsella.
If you would, can you please turn to, let me know if it's cut off on yours, but Bates 1003.
Okay?
And can you tell me what this document is?
It's an order granting the motion to dismiss statement of contest from the First Judicial District Court of the State of Nevada in for Carson City.
And when was this order filed?
December 4th, 2020.
And who were the contestants in this litigation?
It's the 6 defendants.
And who were the defendants in this litigation?
The defendants, the same 6 names I just read for the Nevada Democrat nominee electors.
And do you know it's a lengthy order, but do you know what's contained generally, the substance of this order?
The contestants were basically contesting the outcome of the election.
Okay. And if you would, could you turn to, well, actually stay on that page, correct? And go down to line 22. And if you could you please read that? Line 22, and then end on page 1004, line 7.
On November 14, 2020, contestants, Republican Party presidential elector candidates, filed a statement of contest challenging the results of the 2020 presidential election in Nevada, seeking an order from this court either declaring President Donald Trump the winner in Nevada and certifying contestants as the state's duly elected presidential electors, or holding that President-elect Joe Biden's victory be declared null and void, and that the November 3 election be annulled, and that no candidate for elector for the office of the President of the United States of America be certified from the state of Nevada. Statement of contest of the November 3rd, 2020 presidential election 20. In orders dated November 19th and 24, 2020, this court expanded the depositions available to each party from 10 to 15 and shortened the time before notice from 7 days to 48 hours. The parties submitted their evidence to the court on Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. Defendants submitted the testimony by deposition of 4 witnesses, and contestants submitted the testimony by deposition of 8 witnesses, along with numerous declarations, affidavits, and other documents. The court held a hearing on December 3rd, 2020.
And just for clarification, I believe when you first began reading, you said November 14th. Is it actually November 17th on line 22?
Correct, November 17th, Wednesday.
Thank you. And if you would now turn towards the end of that document to state 1036.
Okay.
And if you would, could you please read starting on page 1036, starting on line 8 through 15.
The contestants failed to meet their burden to provide credible and relevant evidence to substantiate any of the grounds set forth in NRS 293.410 to contest the November 3rd, 2020 general election. Judgment. Therefore, based upon the above findings of fact and conclusions of law made by this court after trial and good cause appearing, the following judgment is entered by the court. It is hereby ordered that contestants' contest is denied and that this case is dismissed with prejudice.
And what is the date of this signing?
Dated the 4th day of December 2020.
And it was signed by whom?
District Judge James Russell.